week, we're going to try to share with you some of the rich connections that CSUMB has with the surrounding community. You know, we're one of few universities in the country that requires service learning, and we've been doing that now for 25 years. So over those years, we've developed some nice friendships and some organizations who've really appreciated what it's like to have young people, students working in their organizations, learning from them, and bringing them lots of riches. And so since we really can't gather, you know, we're trying to figure out how we help you meet these people, because we've fallen in love with them, and now we want somehow to pass on that love and those connections to you and help you feel as inspired to get to know them better, as inspired to build relationships with them as we are. So let me just introduce myself and say hello. I'm Seth Pollack. I'm the director of the Service Learning Institute. And I've just, Andrea, kind of taken over hosting this one, since we're focusing on K-12, and it's one piece of our program that I've spent a lot of time with over the last few weeks trying to help us do this remote service piece. So let's just quickly introduce the rest of the Service Learning Institute staff who's on the call. And this is important because you might be reaching out to us again in the next couple of weeks, and we want to have you know who we are and encourage you to reach out to us so that we can help you navigate what could be sometimes challenging, bureaucratic, and other rules and regulations. So, Andrea, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Andrea Monroe, the Associate Director at Service Learning Institute, and feel free to reach out to me, especially with questions like the up to the minute of what are the latest partners that might have joined in terms of remote service options, any new rules that have developed. I'm working closely with Seth and Renee and our wonderful student staff to just keep tabs on what's available, what's possible, what's not possible. That's me.
Great. Renee Casas.
Hey, how's everybody doing? This is Rene Casas. I'm the Community Partnerships and Evaluation Specialist for your Service Learning Institute. If you have any questions regarding your placement, your My Service Learning placement, any information, you're having a hard time adding your placement, you're wondering where your placement's at on my SLP, any questions that have to do with your placement process, please reach out to me and I will help you all out. Thank you.
Great. Laura Lee.
Hi, I'm Laura Lee, and I work with the College of Science and all their placements. And this term, we have a lot of science teachers who want people to work with them. And so we'll, and it's not like you have to know a lot of science, but you need to be interested in it.
Dulce, why don't you tell people who you are and what you do at the Service Learning Institute?
Hey everyone, my name is Dulce Montano. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am a service learning student leader, and this year I will be working with Seaside Middle School. So I guess the gist of what a service learning student leader does is we work with community partners and we support CSUMB students because we understand that my SLP and all these processes are a little bit difficult and confusing at times. So our job is to kind of just make it a little easier. And then through your service learning courses, you also do reflections and stuff. So we support you in that also. Do I introduce my site a little bit more?
Sure.
Okay. So as I mentioned, I will be working with Seaside Middle School this year. And we will be doing everything is virtual. So we will be doing online tutoring. We also are supporting staff, teachers with synchronized courses. And we are also doing AVID support. So if you're interested in working with middle school students, AVID, just getting experience, within the virtual world on how to support K-12 and specifically middle school students, you can go ahead and reach out to me. My email is dmontano, montano, @csumb.edu.
And you'll put that in the chat so everyone will know how to find Dulce. Richard, I saw Richard Connell on the line. You want to introduce yourself and so folks can get to know who you are?
Hi, everybody. My name is Richard Connell. I'm a recent graduate of CSUMB. I am the AmeriCorps VIP lead for the Student Leadership and Service Learning Program. So I work with wonderful people like Dulce and Seth and Lauren Lee to help get service learners placed at sites. Also provide mentorship to each of the wonderful squares that not all of them can be here. So yeah.
Great. And I see we have a couple CSUMB faculty here. So Joanne, would you introduce yourself?
Sure, right before I leave.
And then you gotta go.
Yeah, sorry, I've got to rush off. I am in the math department. I work in math education and I teach our service learning course primarily for future math teachers. So hope to place my students with either middle or high school teachers in math or do some outside tutoring.
And how long have you been doing that, Joanne?
You're right, a very long time. Probably about 18 years, something like that.
And do you know one or two math teachers in the area?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to highlight that because that's some of the really nice things that happen as a result of our service learning and as a result of our university being connected and committed to being in relationship with the communities. Over time, our faculty have relationships and relationships that really matter and that are meaningful so that Joanne knows math teachers, knows how to connect with them, and hopefully we'll be able to connect with them this semester too, right?
Yes.
And Tyler Gidney, you want to introduce yourself, Tyler? Tell us a little bit what you're teaching this semester.
Sure, yeah. I'm Tyler. I've been with the SLI as a lecturer for 3 years now. I also came from service learning as a service learning student.
Oh, and you just muted yourself, looks like. But that was good. So if we have any community people, if you're a community person, if you're a K-12 teacher, would you stand up and wave and unmute yourself and scream at us, tell us who you are?
Okay. And
so why don't you
Clint,
introduce
go
yourself
for
and your
it.
school,
Clint,
and we'll
go
give
for
you a
it.
little bit of time. This is just a hello. We're going to give you your time in a little bit to introduce yourself more, but this will just let me know who's here.
So Clint had his hand up.
Clint, go ahead.
Okay. Hi. Oh my gosh, it's so nice to see everybody. Hi, my name is Clint Cornfield. I am a second grade teacher over in Seaside at the International School of Monterey. I'm actually a CSUMB grad, so yay for that. So I service learning is very near and dear to me as well. Yeah, so working at ISM, working with little 7 and 8 year olds. And yeah, what else do you want to know?
You'll tell us more in a few minutes. You'll tell us more in a little bit.
Then that's all I will say. So there.
Perfect. Barbara.
Hi, I am a 2-3 teacher at Chular School.
Chular Elementary. Awesome.
Well, I don't like saying elementary because we go up to 8th grade, but yes.
It's K-8, so it's Chular School. You're right. I'm wrong.
Oh, well, no, our sign says elementary.
Oh, great. Thanks, Barbara. Other teachers in the house? Drew.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm actually the principal at Olson Elementary School here in Marina. Really excited to partner again with the service learners in CSUMB and looking forward to a great year.
Awesome. Thanks, Drew. Glad you're here. Any other teachers or principals or K-12 folks from the community that want to introduce themselves?
Hi, my name is Danina. Sorry, I was muted. My name's Danina, and I am at Central Coast High School in Seaside, and I'm teaching 12th grade civics, economics, ELD, and drawing and painting too.
Sweet.
Wow.
Thanks, Danina. Where are you sitting right now? All those light and
The backgrounds are, I wish I could be there.
well, you tricked me. That's it. Anyone else? Okay, so I'm going to now start sharing my screen. I'm going to do a little bit of a PowerPoint, give you an overview of the K-12 service learning process, this remote process this semester. And then we'll get a chance to ask some questions, etc. So here we go. We're going to dive right in, I think. Great. So welcome everybody. This is our K-12 Service Learning Partnership event. And to give you a little sense of what we'll do is I'm going to give you an overview of the K-12 Remote Service Learning Program. We'll have some introductions from our K-12 partners. They'll tell you a little bit of what kind of support they are envisioning during this crazy, challenging year that we're all in as educators. We'll introduce you a little bit to the processes of how to work through the registration, et cetera, and then we'll have some time for questions. And so if you got questions, use the chat. And again, everything will be uploaded onto the Service Learning Institute website, csumb.edu/service. And there's lots of updates for students and especially around COVID-19. So it's really in response to the challenges of trying to do service remotely online that this program emerged. Because as we were chatting earlier, service online presents some new challenges that we really didn't have in the face-to-face classroom context. Challenges since you as service learners are going to really be in the homes of young people. And that presents some challenges that we have to be attentive to. And you're going to be potentially in kind of intimate contact with young people. And that presents other challenges that we have to be attentive to. So this project really emerged as a result of us trying to address these challenges and to continue to build what has been a really effective program. To give you a sense, every semester we have over 500 students who are service learners in K-12 schools. And that's not only 15,000 hours of meaningful work, but those young people sometimes become teachers, as you've heard already with Clint and others who are on the call here today. We have a teacher pathway program, a grow your own teacher program, and what we've found is that our students are often recruited and find themselves teaching in the schools where they were service learners. This is one of our service learner student leaders from last year, Jonathan, who was representing Montebella Elementary, a school that we've had some students who've become teachers there. So one question you can answer is, well, 30 hours, does that really make a difference? And we asked our teacher hosts that, and maybe you'll hear from the folks who are on the call today a little bit as they'll tell you what they get from service learners. But in the past, teachers were overwhelmingly thrilled at the kind of support that they get from service learners. And you'll see that out of 26 teachers who responded to our survey, between 80 and 95% felt that the work that you did is powerful, it has an impact, their sites benefit, and it's way worth the hassle of recruiting. And especially what this means, it's about relationships. As you can see, this one teacher says they create incredibly meaningful relationships with students. They still ask about her. She treated my students as if they were her own. So you really get a sense of this relationship. It's about respect. That is, the students really feel cared for. And of course, what you also bring is your enthusiasm and your initiative and the new ideas you have to just jump right in and try new things. That really supports the teachers. So I just wanted to, help you see that even though it's 25 or 30 hours, which doesn't seem like a lot, it can really have an impact. So our challenge here is to really transform what we know is so powerful in the face-to-face environment to this new environment that we're working in, right? So how do we do this work meaningfully, impactfully? How do we build relationships online? How do we help our 25 to 30 hours that we'll do with young people in the online environment have as much meaning as, sitting around doing a puzzle around the table? As we worked through this with our colleagues in the districts around the county, we identified 3 ways principally that you can be helpful, and we call them phases of the program, although you might not go through all 3 phases. You might just do one phase or the other. But one way that you can be helpful is, especially in this new online environment, is just working with the teacher and helping create instructional materials. Videos, hyperdocs, which is kind of like an online lesson plan that students can click on, takes them to different materials online. So that can really be significantly important, especially now as we've transitioned to this online learning mode. A second way in phase 2 that you can be helpful is by actually being in the classroom, the virtual classroom, while the class is meeting, and helping do small group chats, helping monitor the breakout rooms, helping have smaller conversations with subgroups of students. All of those things can be really meaningful for teachers. And then finally, many of our K-12 districts aren't in school all day long. In fact, many of them are just doing school in the morning, and they have different ways that the students are engaging in asynchronous work and online work and homework, dropping in for office hours in the afternoon. And it's that time when we're envisioning CSUMB students can also be super helpful to work with individuals or small groups of students, doing homework help, checking in around what's really been seen as critical is the social and emotional learning of young people. And we really want to be able to emphasize our role in supporting that. So basically, what is going to happen is we've committed to our district partners that before you go there, we will have helped you learn the basics of safety and security in the online tutoring environment. We'll have helped you understand your responsibilities as a mandated reporter by taking a 4-hour Department of Social Services mandated reporter training. And we will have also helped you take a basic intro to effective remote tutoring. And after you've done that, you'll be able to then be assigned to a district, and you'll be placed by our field coordinators and our district colleagues. The district then has certain responsibilities as well, and their responsibility is to ensure that you pass and are cleared through a live scan, a background check, your fingerprints. Some districts are able to support the cost of that and will reimburse students, and other schools and districts have challenges to do that. So that's something that you're going to find out, and that could have an impact on your ability to choose different sites. It can cost between $40 and $75 potentially to have yourself cleared in order to do service with young people. The districts are also going to help track and place the students, as well as help you get connected to specific teachers who will then help orient you and guide you and check in with you weekly. So in terms of the districts that have confirmed that they'll be working with us, we have the Alisal Union, which is an elementary district. There's, I think, 12 or 13 elementary schools there. We have Chular, which is, I'm sorry, it's K-8. It's not K-5. So that's my mistake. It's a K-8 district. So there we have elementary and middle. The International School of Monterey, is that K-8 as well, International School? I believe so. The King City Elementary District is a K-5 district. The Monterey Peninsula Unified School District is K-12. And then we'll also be working with Spreckles, which is a K-8 district. In process, but not quite over the hump yet, we have interest from Pacific Grove, from North Monterey County, from Pajaro Valley, from Salinas City, from Salinas Union, from San Antonio, and from Washington Union. So those all are interested in working with us. And as we mentioned earlier, the way this begins is your first step is to submit this student request for placement. That's going to be your entry into the program. It's going to give you a chance to tell us your interests, your availability, what special skills you might have, language skills, etc., technology skills. And it will give us a chance to then know if you have a specific site or a specific school that you're interested in going to, you'll be able to tell us that. Once that you do that, you'll be let into the online Canvas course, the pre-service remote tutoring training. That will take you about 5 hours to complete. When you're done, you'll print out a certificate. You'll send that to your field placement coordinator. And then step 3 will begin, where you'll be assigned to both a district, a specific school, you'll have a tutor team partner, and you'll begin to connect with your teacher. At the same time, you'll begin your live scan and background check process with the district. Now, the next step is, we don't know when it will begin, because sometimes the live scan happens and you're cleared in a day or 2 or 3, and sometimes it might take a week or 2. So that all is one of the challenges that we now have to overcome, and we have to have a little patience and flexibility, which is why once you've been assigned to your school, you can connect with your teacher. You can talk with your teacher. You can help your teacher build videos and instructional materials, but you cannot work with the youth until you've passed your live scan and cleared your background check. Once that happens, then you'll be doing 20 to 25 hours of support and ultimately evaluated by your teacher. Online, we have a number of teachers who've shared a little bit about their school and about their work in Flipgrid videos. We have these 6 awesome educators, one of whom is with us today. And I know a couple of these schools are represented as well. But in addition to the stories that you'll hear today and the people you'll meet in the next bit of time, these are 6 other resources that you can access, and you can find this by clicking on this Flipgrid video file link. And you will see all of these K-12 educators there, and they'll tell their stories. For example, let's just give Linda a little chance to say something here.
Hi, I'm Linda Mendoza, ELL resource teacher at Spreckles Unified School District. I work with English language learners, grades TK through 8, and I'm here to ask for your help in our distance learning endeavor for the school year 2020 to 2021. You have the unique and special skills of understanding the technology that we teachers haven't had to use before. So it would be cool to go shoulder to shoulder and learn with you and from you as we advance the process of equity for online learning. So I want to first say thank you for your hearts of service. And if you have the following skills, we've got opportunities for you. 1, if you speak a language other than English, including American Sign Language, and you have some computer background, we could totally use that too. So second language learners are welcome. We are looking for people to work with social emotional learning situations, and we need you to work in the classroom, in small groups. We need you to plan with teachers, and we need you to work with our students when they are asynchronous at home or after school with the YMCA.
So there you go, just a little taste of what kind of enthusiasm and opportunities exist. So at this point, I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to ask our K-12 partners who are here. We have Clint Cornfield, we have Barbara Johnson, we have Drew Coleman, and we have Danina Spates. If you could then one by one, I'll take a couple of minutes, take 2 to 3 minutes, and let us know about the kind of opportunities that are available for students at your site. And look who joined us. Linda joined us. So Linda, you're going to get a double dip of Linda because you just saw Linda on video, and you'll get to have Linda live as well. So let's start with Clint. Go ahead, Clint, you're up.
I think he has to leave.
We lost Clint.
Yeah, Clint was having unstable internet connection, so he had to leave.
So before we go, we'll play you a little bit of Barbara, because Barbara is Clint's teaching partner at the International School of Monterey, and Barbara, Miss
not me.
Barbara Peters. Yeah, Miss Peters sent a Flipgrid video. So yes. So Barbara Johnson, why don't you go ahead and tell us about the K-8 school district and your work at Chular and the kind of opportunities for students.
Okay, we're a K-8 school, very small. In fact, we're a school and a district. So you don't have to worry about dealing with a district separately because it's all in one. We have about 300 total students, K-8. And the biggest thing I think we want to do is also ask our student learners what their needs are, because we're pretty open as far as what we're looking for.
Great. That's great. They've been really looking forward to a deep partnership with us this year. So we're hoping that we can really connect deeply with Chular. Drew Coleman, tell us about Olson and your work there and the kind of help you would like from CSUMB students.
Absolutely. I'm really on here to recruit many of you to come join an amazing elementary school here in Marina. This is my 3rd year here serving as the principal, and prior to that, I was principal in the Cupertino Union School District. Then the first thing we're trying to do here is, especially in this time of trauma and uniqueness in our country, we need to provide as many kids as possible with a caring adult. And so we need folks to come alongside of our kids to develop a really positive relationship with them, one that they can aspire to. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is that we're really focused on literacy here. We believe in really providing an equitable experience, and we think that through helping children improve their literacy, in particular develop high levels of reading and writing, that we can address that. We have a strong partnership with Teachers College Reading and Writing Project out of Columbia University out in New York, and we work with them closely, and we're heavily supported with virtual resources, staff development, and kind of everywhere in between. And then lastly, if you have a passion for social justice, if you want to be a part of a movement to provide anti-racist and kind of combat the institutional and systemic racism that's going on and has been for centuries, and in our country for hundreds of years, this is a place to do it. And so we believe passionately in that. Most of our students are Black and brown youngsters, and we're here to help support them. We would love to partner with folks who are representative. We will provide lots of support in that realm. So again, right, we're really taking an equity focus in trying to support the kids of our community, and hopefully develop a passion for literacy and help them achieve high levels and one day attend CSUMB or other colleges and careers. So hopefully you'll take an interest, and we'd love to have as many service learners as possible join Olson. Thanks, Seth.
Danina, would you tell us a little bit about your work? And I don't know that people know what Central Coast High School is, so that would be great if you could tell us about the unique character of your school and your students.
Sure. So yeah, again, my name is Danina. This is actually my first year at Central Coast High School, which is in the Ed Options family. So it's an alternative high school, I guess you would call it. A lot of students here are either in credit recovery for their classes, like they've been transferred from their high school, their home high school to this high school to try to recover credit. But some students actually end up staying here, I believe, because they just like the way the school is, and it's a little bit smaller than traditional high school, so they get more one-on-one from their instructors. And so, yeah, I can't speak for everybody, but this opportunity came across my desk, and I know for me, because I'm teaching so many subjects this year, I would love to have some support from the service learners. And I think that my district is still kind of working on the second and third phase of the opportunity on that slide. So for me at this time, because they're still working to confirm that through the school district, the phase 1 support is kind of where I'm interested. And kind of echoing what Mr. Coleman was talking about, part of my philosophies is critical theory. So I really believe in, what's the word I'm looking for? I think that the content that we're teaching, we need to not get rid of it, but we need to adjust what we're teaching and how we're teaching it, and making room and making sure that we are recognizing all groups, all ethnicities, and just really making things relevant for students right now, because a lot of my students, I work with seniors. Some of them are working, some of them are taking care of their older brothers and sisters, and so the reason why I'm looking for help is because I want to make sure that all learners are able to access materials, that I have enough information so that my students with disabilities or my English language learners, that they have what they need. And that kind of takes a lot of work on a teacher's end, so it would be really awesome to work with the service learner. Thank you.
Thank you, Danina. We have also Linda from Spreckles. Would you introduce Spreckles district to us and the type of opportunities that might be there? Students met you on your video, but now they can meet you live. And you're muted, Linda.
I know, I have a delay, a little lag. Hi everyone, I'm Linda Mendoza, and I'm really close to where the fires were. We were evacuated, so I'm half in my house and half out of my house at the moment. But what a thrill it is to meet everyone. Thank you for giving me a moment to speak on behalf of Spreckles. It was an old sugar, and so we like to keep it sweet. I'm sorry, I'm cornball. So anyway, what I want to say to you is I've been teaching since 1985, and you could go past that. But what I want to say is one of my common themes and the people that I work with is heart. And if you have it, right, you don't have to have the other stuff. You have to have that passion to jump in and say, how can I help? So in Spreckles, we just recently found out we have a Hungarian student, primary language. I'm like, hey, maybe somebody up at CSUMB, we're only a few miles apart, maybe you have something there. Or, we have Arabic learners, so I'm primarily an ELL, English Language Learner Resource Teacher, but I work across the curriculum from transitional kindergarten to the 8th grade. And what we really, really need is people with the brains. You guys have all this tech stuff that you do. You can do it from your phone or from computers, and a lot of teachers are frightened of it. And we've been spending this the springtime and through the summer building a better teacher. But we believe that you have, if you can give us a couple hours a week or a day, it builds into a better community. And our scholars need you. The parents at home are working and sometimes have multiple learners in their house, and they're not capable of doing their own job and taking care of the children in that little 9-to-5 spot. And so if you have flexibility, which we believe you do, and you're a caring adult and act like one, that'd be me, I want to just invite you to jump in with us and know that, like Drew mentioned out there at Folsom, we have a strong connection with the Teachers College program in Columbia. Another piece I keep thinking of all the things I want to tell you. It's been our first day, and I'm a little spilling over with enthusiasm, but one of those mottos, it's kind of corny, but if you can see them, you can be them. And the faces of the Service Learning Institute reflects the learners. It shouldn't be an old white lady with a Mexican last name at the helm. It should be the youth. You should be driving the car, okay? So I'm here for you. We want you to come in and bring your enthusiasm. Know that we have a space for what you want to do under the tutelage of your advisors, and also making it a unique and special package for the students that feel your heart across this internet connection. So I want to thank you for thinking about Spreckles. We're just a short drive away. And if you come work for us, all you have to do is connect with our Monica Valero, and she is able to, our superintendent is working with human resources to make sure that you do not have to pay any out of pocket for a live scan. It is one person, one contact, and we're all in for 3 phases. So come on out to the sugar side. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Hi, Diana, Diana Myers, are you representing a school, or are you a student? And you're muted. I still can't hear you, unfortunately. No.
We go, wait, can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay, then my apologies. No, actually, I'm the assistant principal at Seaside Middle School here in Seaside, and that's just down the street from Cal State Monterey Bay. So, hello, Otters. I was a former Otter. If you were a service learner at, well, in this case, you were a service learner at Fort Terrace. We were Otters over there. So I was happy to host all of the service learners when I was a second grade teacher. I am very happy to host service learners here now in the administrative capacity. So just to give you a background about Seaside Middle School, we are a 6th through 8th grade middle school. Our focus is on project-based learning, as well as having career and college readiness through our ADVIS program, which is advancement via individual determination. And we're focusing a lot on social, emotional, and academic learning. That's a large part of what we want to focus on for our students, primarily because of the fact that we do service a diverse amount of students, not only culturally, but also in terms of their social emotional needs. So just to break this down to make it nice and short and sweet, there are 3 things, count them, 1, 2, 3, that I really want you guys to focus on if you're interested in coming to Seaside Middle School. 1, we are currently, this is now our 3rd, 4th week in online learning. So therefore, we have synchronous learning that takes place from 8 a.m. until 11:50 p.m., almost 10 minutes before 12. And then we have asynchronous learning that takes place after that. And so what we would like for our service learners to do here, if you are interested, is 1, supporting our teachers in classrooms, actually in our Google Classrooms, of course, remotely. In synchronous learning, you will be, you might be assigned students in a small group. For those of you, I believe you're coming in pairs for that classroom. Also, we have our Advent classrooms. And because you guys have walked the path as college and career students, you can help our students see the benefits as to what this looks like in real life in real time. So we ask if you're interested, then you can participate in our Advent program, being a helper or a tutorial support in the Advent classroom, and also our advisory classroom. Our advisory classroom focuses on the social emotional learning aspect. So if you have more backgrounds that you're interested in delving more into the aspects of how students learn when and teaching resilience, teaching persistence, teaching self-regulation, then those would be classes that you would want to attend. And we have those classes on Mondays and Thursdays at 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and then on Tuesdays and Fridays from 11 to 11:50. Also, there are homework tutorial opportunities for those of you who need service hours during the afternoon. There's an opportunity to service our students. Mind you, I'll make it really quick. Mind you, a lot of our students come from homes where both parents are working. And also, our students are usually the advocates for both their Spanish-speaking or other language-speaking parents, and taking care of the siblings and being able to speak and meet the needs of them. You coming in to help them is a way of supporting them. So I do hope that you will join us, the Eagle, in helping our students soar. And so from there, a big hug from afar. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. That's great. And Diana will be working with Dulce, our service learning student leader, who's also on the call. So Dulce, come on, give us a little eagle flying, something, a little caw, caw, caw. Are there any other teachers or people that we've missed? So if there's no other teachers or K-12 folks, I want to open it up for questions. Renee, have you been monitoring the chat? Is there anything that we need to address that's come up in the chat?
Yeah, no, I think everything's good to go. No questions have been posted in the chat. However, I did want to send a huge shout out. I wanted to thank all y'all educational professionals for the hard work and everything you're doing to meet the needs of not only the students, the families and the communities and the issues that are happening, during these challenging times. So, my hat's off to you all. I know it's very challenging, both as an administrator and as a teacher. We're also doing everything that we can on our end to make sure that we can help remotely. But if there's any questions that you all have and anything that we can do, please contact us and let us know.
I do have a question.
Yes.
I I know it seems like you're asking us what our needs are, but I'm assuming if this is something coming from the school, that there's going to be certain requirements for the service learners. Will the schools have, you know, information on that? Like if they have to do a special project or they're required to do a certain amount of whatever?
So the reality, Barbara, is that the students are going to come from a variety of different classes, right? Some of them will be future teachers. If you're in the audience as a student here, and if you are in a liberal studies program, if you're going on to become a teacher, would you raise your hand or clap or let us know, thumbs up, give us a little sign, a little, there we go. So those folks are going to be focused on understanding classrooms, understanding learning, understanding schools, right? Are there other people who are not liberal studies who want to shout out what your major is?
Hi, Cindy. I'm doing business.
Business, Cindy? Keep going. Computer science, humanities, accounting, marine science. There you go. You put it in the chat. Biology, Spanish, ecology, kinesiology, movement, computer science, marine science. So Barbara, this is just to say what all those folks are going to be bringing is their own discipline-based knowledge, whether it's marine science or kinesiology, but really what they're focused on learning about is service. And they're trying to understand from every one of these perspectives, issues of inequality, issues of systemic oppression, issues of how do we as a business person or as a computer scientist or as a marine scientist, how do we make the haves and the have-nots a little less of an issue? How do we address the challenges that we're confronting so that as a computer scientist, you'll have some insights that you can then bring with you into your career? So each student is going to be coming with a different skill set or a different disciplinary background, but their focus is learning how to be of service in our society, right? And that will look a little bit different from each of them. But in general, it's then trying to understand, just for example, who is Chular? And who's in school here? How do we understand those kids? How do we connect with those kids? How do we help them see CSUMB as their neighbor, right? How do we help them see CSUMB as their future? How do we connect in a meaningful way with those young people in Chular? So that becomes the real, I think, the curriculum for all of us. Okay. Any of my colleagues, I know I have Juan Sanchez is on the phone. I think Tyler's on the phone, Laura Lee's on the phone or on the call in the house. Juan, you want to say a word or two about what our students are bringing with them?
Yeah, so our students are bringing in their full selves, right? So what we're trying to do is connect what their identity reflections are, what their backgrounds are, what their interests in majors are, with connected with the needs of all these elementary schools or middle schools or high schools, what their needs are, and put it in the context of what is it their role in the community is supposed to be. So there's a lot of reflection and a lot of conversation about what are these systems that are going on in the schools. How is the funding affecting some of these families? How is it the issues of language? What do they manifest themselves? How do they manifest themselves? Like Diane was talking about, how is it possible that these families that have essential workers are asking their kids to basically be their own care providers, and what if somebody brings that to the attention of the authorities? What happens to that? There was a picture that went viral that was shared by one of our colleagues, and everybody said, "Oh, how can we do?" The two girls doing their homework on their laptop right outside Taco Bell. So we asked these questions like, so what are the issues here? And a lot of people think it's just a one-time deal. It's, oh, let's get them a hotspot, but it's a bigger issue, right? The issue of why do we don't have universal internet access for our students? And by the way, even a bigger issue, why is it that essential workers don't have proper care, right? And rich folks can create pods and pay $50 an hour to somebody to come in, and our essential workers are now, in the case of this lady, yes, they gave them hotspots by the school district, but also the police came and did an investigation for child endangerment, and they lost the place where they lived. And so a lot of different connections, right? So what we're trying to do is open up the blinders and also connect with the need, and hopefully it's a symbiotic relationship between the university, the students, and of course the community.
Oh, and that's perfect. You just said that. So at the end of this, would they give the school like a report on suggestions that they've learned through the time, so that we as a school, we may miss something that they see?
Yeah, it depends on the professor, right? In my case, for example, my students have to do a report on whatever site they're working with, and they come up with those recommendations, and they have these standards that they look at, but it depends on the situation and the typically what a lot of our classes share is that they have to do academic reflection journals where they really try to take in what they're learning in the class with what they're seeing at the site.
Any other questions before we wrap up? We have about 5 more minutes.
Hi, I see, I'm thrilled to see so many science people here. And we will be hoping that you will want to work with teachers in science classrooms, or science behind the scenes with teachers. And we will have a form for you that you will fill out. We don't have it quite yet, but that you will fill out, and so that we can kind of match you with classrooms. And these are, there's a whole bunch of science teachers who are requesting you. We just need to make this, this match. So hang in there, but you're hearing all the right stuff, the science people who are here. Thank you, STEM folks. Yeah.
Laura Lee, I'm gonna play Will's, we're gonna play Will's, here we go. This is the program for science folks that Laura Lee was just referring to. This is Will Frenzel. He's from the county office, and this is a project with the Alisal Union School District, which is a K-5 elementary district focused on science.
Hello, CSUMB students. This is Will Franzel. I'm the Educational Administrator of Science at the Monterey County Office of Education. Welcome to the 2020-21 school year. And I just wanted to do a quick Flipgrid introduction and introduce the Alisal Union School District. I taught there for 12 years, so it's close to my heart. And they have 12 different schools in their district and serve TK through 6th grade students. So the service opportunities that are going to be available in the fall semester are going to include supporting our teachers in Alisal with high quality science instruction. And we'll be using Twig Science as our instructional material. Any special skills or requirements that you may need include practicing and modeling the 4 C's. So communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking are very important. And one thing that we really appreciate about working with service learners is the fact that you are really serving our community and really supporting our students, our teachers, our families, especially with science education. So thank you for everything you're doing, and stay safe. Have a wonderful school year, and hope to meet you all in person someday.
That just gives you a little sense of the connection that Will has with our folks here at CSUMB. Laura Lee and I have been on a number of meetings with our science instructors, and it's really exciting to see Will, who's connected to K-12 science education, and our professors who are focused on science in the university, really working together around how do we design this program so that those elementary science teachers can really benefit from your knowledge, your insight, and really bringing science to life. So there's some really wonderful opportunities there. And I think with that, it's at 3 o'clock. I'm gonna hang on for a few minutes. If anyone wants to ask other questions, you can. I want to thank you all for coming. Thank you, community partners. You're amazing. We really wish, this is a challenging year, so let's just raise the roof a little bit, give appreciation to all the energy and all the inspiration that's coming from our partners and from our students. Let's hear a little bit from our students. Give me a little round of applause from our students. You might not feel it, but there's a lot of energy and a lot of people caring about you and a lot of people wanting to see you in their lives. So this is real. It might feel a little bit distant, but this is real and it matters. So thank you for caring. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for bringing your hearts into this work, and all good things are going to come of it. So Renee and I and Andrea will hang out, and Laura Lee, maybe if we'll take some questions if you have, but otherwise on with your day, and hope we can help you as this evolves. Thank you all.
And thank you to the students that came to both of our sessions today. That's awesome. Our morning and our afternoon session. So thank you.
Thank you.
So I had a quick question. I RSVP'd with you, Renee, for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming out of my class. I mean, sandwich in between classes. So is there anything you want me to have prepared, or just like this a little bit? I'm not going to be sharing screens or anything like that, right? It's going to be like a dry deal.
Yeah, just like this, face to face, as much as we can make it relational, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I benefit from a little of people not seeing my face so much and seeing the kid.
Yeah. And Juan, if you want to, you can throw links in the chat, or you can send them to us ahead of time, or you can say, direct people to our Instagram. Like while you're talking, we're happy to see and push people with stuff. Okay. So yeah, but you relax.
We'll do that.
Linda, I want you to meet our colleagues. This is Linda Mendoza. She's at Spreckles School District. And Linda and we were parents together with our girls, Maya. And wait. Lauren, we're in school together. And Lauren's now in the Big Apple, New York City.
Nice. Yep, bring in equity. Lauren, they are a camera independent operator, bringing her Native American Mexican self to the screen. Wow. And powerful. She's working. I'm still adjusting. Excuse me, because like I said, the 80s. They are making Mama proud, working with
nice
women and men and the whole spectrum to bring it to media. Like I've been reminded, media is only about 100 years old, so we've got so much work to do here. We're groundbreaking, and Yeah, I can't say loud enough how I admire what CSUMB is doing, the brain trust that you have there, the heart that you have there, the youth that's out there. I want them connected across everything. From my children who I work for, they live in garages, they're homeless, they work in the fields. People will say to me, now, how is it that parents are turning in homework at 11? You know, and I say, because they just got off work. I have parents who do a graveyard shift. I go out early in the morning, and they are working in the fields before the sun is up. During the heat wave, they're out there. I have an Arab family that lost family members. They've gone through a variety of refugee camps to get here. They've had losses, and then they had to evacuate and lost their buildings. I mean, this is it. We are alive online. We have so much work to do. So I'm in, and I'm so grateful to know you all. Thank you for your energy.
Well, I'm just excited, Linda, you know, with